Because in some ways you're a family historian, I think, if you always...
I've only inherited it because I'm the last one, except for Daniel.
Daniel. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I guess Grandpa and his brother Frank came to the United States when Grandpa Schifani was only 13 years old.
He was only 13?
Only 13 when they came to the United States. They came to Louisiana. They did not come to... They came to Louisiana.
To Ellis Island?
No, they came to Louisiana.
Oh, see, Steve Schifani has that wrong. That's good.
They came to Louisiana. They came to Louisiana.
Oh, Nancy maybe.
And they came their sister Anna.
Oh.
Anna, who's deceased.
Did Vince come with him?
Huh?
Did Vince come
No, Grandpa Schifani. Grandpa Schifani sponsored.
Nancy's cookies?
No.
Okay.
Grandpa Schifani sponsored Vince to the United States.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Grandpa Schifani sponsored Vince to the United States. See, Grandpa was already an American citizen then, and he sponsored him here to Albuquerque.
Wow.
And in fact, when he first came, he lived with my mother and father.
No kidding.
He lived with my mother and father.
I didn't know that.
Okay. And then, well, anyway.
So you remember him from a long time ago, Frank?
Oh, well, see, Vince was so much older than me. He was Uncle Vince.
See, that's what we call
He-
him,
he-
too, I remember.
He was really a cousin.
Right.
But he was like an Uncle Vince because he was older.
Sure.
He was older than my uncle.
Sure.
He was older than my uncle, see?
Yeah,
so he was
true.
so he was like an uncle. We always referred to Vince as an uncle, not as my cousin.
That's right.
Okay. So anyway, Grandpa Schifani sponsored him to the United States. He well anyway, from Louisiana, Grandpa from Louisiana, then from there Grandpa went up to New York.
Okay.
And then,
Louisiana to New York.
From Louisiana.
Oh, have some cookies. Nancy made them, please.
From Louisiana to New York. From Louisiana to New York.
I'm getting family history here.
And then it was in New York that he met Grandma. So remember, Grandma was an Orthodox Jew.
Yes, she was.
She was an Orthodox Jew. Her father was a rabbi.
He was.
Her father was a rabbi.
And did they send her here because of the Bolsheviks?
I don't know much more than they lived in the same apartment building, that's all.
Oh.
Grandma came over with her brother Jake.
I didn't know that.
And Sarah and another sister. There were two girls. Anyway, I don't... Jake and Sarah, and I don't remember the other sister's name. There were three girls and two boys.
Two boys.
Two girls and two boys. Jake and Adolf were the boys, and then and there was only one. Olga and Sarah.
Olga and Sarah. And those
Olga.
were her brothers and sisters.
That was her brother. Jake and Adolf and Sarah were her brothers and sisters.
I never knew she had brothers and sisters here. I'm amazed.
So then they met in the same apartment building. They got married. And then they moved to Philadelphia. And that's where Uncle Louis was born. Uncle Louis was born in Philadelphia on Market Street.
Oh my!
On Market Street. And then from there, they moved to York, Pennsylvania. And their grandpa had a barbershop. The rest of then Mother was born next. And after Mother came Pearl.
Yep.
And then
Let's see, Manuel was after Mom. Marion was between Anna and Pearl.
Louis was the oldest. Then came Anna.
Then
came Marion. Then came Pearl.
Then Manuel.
No. Yeah,
No?
then Manuel and then Frank.
Right.
Frank was the baby on the way out. He was the baby on the train. Frank was the baby on the train. Then the rest of them came after him.
And they came in Albuquerque then.
But see now, there was only 9 living out of 14 children that were born. Only 9 lived. Grandma had 19 pregnancies.
19?
14 pregnancies. 14 pregnancies, but only 9 lived. Only 9 lived.
Did any live past infancy?
No, well, that I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so then, Well, anyway, in York, Pennsylvania, they lived on Georgia Street, and then Grandpa had a barber shop. He had a barber shop in the Colombo Hotel. In fact, I have a flyer from his hotel.
Oh, you do?
I have a flyer from his hotel.
Could we make a copy? Could we
Well,
make
I gotta find it. I'm a typical Schifani. I collect everything and I don't know where anything is.
Is that a trade of ours? Because I do too. It's
And
really
so-
bad.
So then he was told he had to come to New Mexico. He had to come west for his asthma.
Yes.
So he sold everything. They lived on Georgia Street.
And they were very poor when they came out, weren't they?
He came out here practically on a stretcher.
Yeah.
And so then they arrived in Albuquerque, and he was coming to get away from the snow and the damp. And the first night they were in Albuquerque, it snowed.
Oh my God.
He thought I've come to hell.
Oh yeah.
And so they stayed in the, I think it was the Elms Hotel on First Street when they got there. And so anyway, then he eventually opened a barber shop. Here, and then after that came Teddy, then Dante, then Daniel. You know. But the other 6 were born in the East.
So did Grandma, she didn't have any contact with her sisters and brothers after she
became a Catholic.
Pardon me?
She became a Catholic.
Oh, was that the reason why?
That's right. She
Oh,
became a
Frank,
Catholic.
I didn't know
She
that.
became a Catholic, and then that was the end of that contact with her family.
Oh,
Remember, they were Orthodox Jews. Her father was a
a
rabbi.
rabbi. I never understood why before. Thank you very much. Wow.
And their name was not a Jewish sounding name.
It wasn't Gordon.
It was Gordon. It was Gordon.
Was that really the name? Because
That was their name. That was their name. That was their name.
I had no idea.
She probably came from a part of Russia that was bordering on Poland, and so
Family
the Poles and the Russians, because Grandma was very fair. She had green eyes,
what I
green eyes,
understand.
blondish hair. I got to pick up some. I have pictures of her.
Do you have pictures?
And so she did not look what you might think of her. And so anyway, then they came here, and they had a hard time. They were poor. They were very poor.
And she spoke 9 languages, I
Grandma
heard.
spoke many languages. She was fluent in Russian, of course, and Polish, and of course she spoke Yiddish, of course, and then she learned Italian, of course. That's as much as I know.
That must have been very hard for her to break all contact with her family.
It was. And in those days, the husband was the boss, and that
Yeah, and you had a Sicilian husband too.
especially in an Italian family.
You bet. Wow. I remember a story Mama used to tell me that Aunt Anna was wild.
And Anna was independent as hell.
Yes. My godmother.
Independent as hell.
Aunt Anna.
No, mother. Mother was independent as hell. And she walked out of the house, and she was not going to be told what to do.
PowerPoint thing on the computer. It's in English and Italian.
And Italian.
She spent many hours on it. Also, we need to thank her so much for having Christina come.
And she took care of the translator. Thank you, Denise. Thanks, Denise.
Denise is my best friend. But you have been wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you. So, what else? There are a lot of things that I'm not. I'm just giving you a.
Yeah, so Aunt Anna, I heard, Mama told me that she misbehaved one time and she ran under the bed and Grandpa would lay there with a shoe on one side and then on the other side, so she'd have to stand under the bed. And that she ran off with a cowboy one time, a movie star that came to the chemo theater.
That I don't remember.
Oh,
That's one she didn't tell.
She didn't tell you. Mama used to tell this story. It was I don't know if it was Tom
Actually,
Mix, but it was.
let's put it this way.
I loved it.
Let's put it this way. The girls in the family were wild.
Oh,
Except for
both?
Mary. Except
Really?
for Mary.
But Pearl and Anna were.
That's right.
Oh, really?
They were wild.
Oh, I love it.
They were wild.
I love it. I did.
The boys, they behaved. I don't know why. But,
Really?
But your mother and my mother, independently.
Good for them. Good for them. But Marion was behaved, huh? Marion
Oh yeah, Mary was a mouse.
was she really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
She was a real mouse.
Yeah.
Prima donna, but mouse.
She was a prima donna, wasn't she?
Prima donna, but mouse.
Isn't that interesting?
She had one good boyfriend, Jim.
Yeah.
He left her, and there used to be a song, Jim never loves us anymore. We could never sing that around her because she would get incensed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so he broke her heart.
Oh, yeah.
And then because when I met Marion, she's like, I don't ever want to get married, she would tell me. So that was because of that. Interesting. Interesting.
One true love. Yeah.
What do you remember about Grandma? I never met her, Frank.
Well, Grandma was a home on the range,
Was she?
is what she called herself. She stayed home and cooked.
Did you?
She was an obedient wife, you know, in those days. They didn't go out and do anything. I can tell you some interesting stories.
Sure.
You know, actually, Grandpa did most of the grocery shopping. I think he was jealous as hell, if you want to know the truth.
Really?
I think
Oh,
he really was.
wow. He didn't want her out, huh?
And then they used to have the little tips, you know, they had their tips, believe me. I've been there many times when they would be yelling to one another. Then he'd get mad and take all his pictures off the wall, and he'd drive to Santa Fe.
Really?
Drive to Santa Fe and stay with Mom and Dad.
No kidding?
Yeah, they stayed for a
Because
week
your
with
parents
us.
lived in
Huh?
Santa Fe.
Well, we moved, when we moved to Santa Fe, we went up there in 38.
Really?
We
I
lived there
didn't
for
know
about
that.
6 years. And so he would drive up there and stay with us.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, and then he'd take all his pictures off the wall.
When they come back.
And then they had some interesting conversations between us, you know. Well, anyway, we won't go into that.
No, I love it. Tell me the true
I've
details.
got to put it together for you.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I had no idea.
Grandma was a wonderful cook. Absolutely a wonderful cook. Wonderful cook.
My mother thought her mother was, she used the term, the sweetest angel
We used to
in
call
the
her
world.
Bunganbee.
What did that mean?
Because, well, she couldn't say bumblebee, and she would say the bunganbee.
The Bunganbee.
So they called her the bunganbee. There
Bunganbee.
were some bunganbees out there.
And she said,
She made a bumblebee, and she always called them bunganbees.
Bunganbees. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Amazing. And my mama was obsessed with her mother. I mean,
Yeah, well.
I don't know, was Anna too, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because she thought that she
But
was
then
just,
she died young.
she had diabetes.
She died and gangrene.
And gangrene, I
And
didn't know about gangrene.
That was actually the gangrene that took her.
Oh, I didn't know that,
And
Frank.
it created congestive heart failure. I was 18 years old.
Oh my
at the time.
gosh.
I was in the seminary at the time. I came down. She was at Women's and Children's Hospital. She died at Women's and Children's Hospital. You know, and so.
Wow. Now, Grandpa, when he came to Albuquerque, what did he do when he started feeling good enough?
Well, at first, I know he started barbering because he was a barber back there.
Sure,
He started barbering
sure.
right away.
Oh, he did
He
here.
started barbering right away. Years later, became an insurance salesman, and then he
Was it
became
New
the
York
champion.
Life, was
New
it?
York Life. Then
Okay.
he became the champion insurance salesman for a couple of years. He was
I
the
didn't know
award-
that.
Yeah, sold millions of dollars of insurance.
No
towards
kidding.
the end, and then he retired.
I had no
Then he
idea.
retired.
Yeah. Interesting. And he never remarried
Oh,
or
no.
Never had any
He would have never
interest.
thought of that. He would have never.
Never thought of that at all.
He would have never thought of that. He had asthma badly, and he had. All
I
kinds
remember
of
he had like that
the
spritzer or
That's
something
the
that
only
he.
thing he used. One day he came home and he quit taking all medication except the spritz. The
Really?
spritz. That's the only thing. He threw it all out. He put it in a coffee can and threw it all out.
Really?
And that's he quit.
Wow.
And from that day, all he used was the atomizer.
And he still had asthma his whole life.
Well, it was not a bad case, but he used that. He used that.
Right.
And he used to smoke horrible Toscani cigars.
See, I remember his cigars. I remember the smell when I'd walk in that house.
Tinkiest things ever.
That must have killed his asthma.
He was a very proper man. He never answered the door without his hat.
He wore his suit
And never
in the
wore a
house.
suit coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he would have it off, but he went to the door, he would put it on.
He had his suspenders and he'd even have his undershirt on, and he'd put his, there you go, and then he'd put his suit coat on. I remember that. I remember him doing that well. Wow.
And apparently when he came to Louisiana, he did do a little bit of studying with the Jesuits.
Did he?
was 13, so he
Yeah.
did some study there. And then later years, he served as an interpreter in the courts because of his ability
Oh,
with
yeah.
Italian. He served as an interpreter in the courts.
There was a big Italian community in Albuquerque, I
But
understand.
we were really not a part of
You
that.
weren't a part of that,
We
yeah.
were not a part of that Italian community.
Maybe it wasn't Sicilians, it was Northern Italians, maybe?
It may have been because actually
Yeah.
most of them. I don't think any of them were Sicilians. I
Yeah,
think,
that's-
I think we're the only. But
Well, there was prejudice against
well,
some Sicilians.
well, it wasn't
too.
so much prejudice. Most of them were grocers and stuff like that.
Oh, I see. I see.
And so they were peddlers. Grandpa
I
wasn't a
understand.
peddler.
Sure.
Grandpa wasn't a peddler. In fact, actually, during the Prohibition, he refused to make wine.
Really?
But all the others made wine.
They made wine.
They will deny it to this day.
But they needed their vino.
Well, but he never did. He was
Grandpa came when he was 13.
he was very
To answer
proper.
your
He was
question.
very-
What year?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Do we know?
But he didn't.
He was
Uncle Vince
13
did
years
not
old.
come with him.
No.
See, I thought he did.
Yeah.
This guy must be 100.
See, that's what
Grandpa-
I thought too. I
Grandpa-
thought that till right now.
Grandpa brought Vince. He sponsored him.
right.
He sponsored him. He
So it must
sponsored-
have been in the 30s then, if
I
it's
don't
73.
know. It had to be after my parents married because he lived with mom and dad when he first came.
How
to the
long
United
did he
States.
live with you? Do you remember?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember some of the stories that my mother tells me.
Oh, tell us
when he
some
first
about
came.
Vince,
Can we
please.
interrupt first and
Sure.
say goodbye?
Oh, are you
We have to-
leaving?
Art's folks came in yesterday, so
What's
we have
that?
to.
You know,
Art's parents came in yesterday,
And
so.
it was lovely to see you again. I'm so proud of you, and you're doing good stuff, honey. You really are. We're happy to hear
Okay.
it.
I'm glad you're doing.
Take lasagna, yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
I'll share any of this with you. We go back on Wednesday morning, early Wednesday morning.
flying?
We're flying, so we can keep in touch
Watch
with
out with that
Facebook, okay?
tin can.
Oh, I know, I will.
And so, see, where were we?
About Vince, we were talking stories about
when he,
Vince.
when
that
he
you had.
first came, he stayed. When he first came, he came.
Oh, no
When
problem.
he first
Go right
came, he
ahead.
stayed with mom and dad. And then
Yeah.
folks were newly married.
Oh, I'm so
I
good
don't-
to see you again. You take care,
At this
okay?
point, I hadn't even been born yet.
Oh,
So I came in the third. So he probably came in, or maybe I was a year old, but I was
Sure.
small. And so mom tells the story that he would come home late at night from work.
Yep.
He worked in the bar. And
oh, he did work in a bar
yeah,
with
he worked in
him.
the bar, and he was also a barber.
Oh, he was both.
He was also a barber.
Wow.
And so anyway, he lived with us, and he had a pool hall. And he would come home at night, and he would tap at the window of my mother's bedroom, and he would not say anything. She said, "Vince, you scare me. Say Anna."
Oh,
He didn't.
he just tapped on the
So
window.
she took a gun and she shot it through the window.
Oh, Anna did? Are you kidding me?
He always said Anna after that.
My Aunt Ann and my mom were wild. That's too great. That is too great, Frank.
She shot a bullet through the window. He always said Anna
Anna
after that.
after that.
He said
Oh
Anna
my
after
gosh. Oh my gosh. So now then he bought a bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. You know that part I'm not.
I don't
totally
know,
sure.
yeah. Because I thought he
Some
had
of
a
those things
bar
I
on
don't know.
Broadway, but I
I
wasn't
don't.
sure.
I don't know the timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know the timeline.
Do you know much about Charlotte? Anything?
Well, Charlotte was a local girl.
Was she?
She was a Sena. She was
Uh-huh.
a Sena. You know,
She was the oldest.
The
And
oldest?
then next came Consuelo.
Yep.
And then came the twins.
The twins were after
Okay,
her.
and-
Yeah.
and-
Oh, Joe, so good to see you again.
Take care. Okay.
Lovely to meet your family. Now, your little girl Faith is the one with the hair to here, about here.
She's the one that's got a big head like that.
She's cute. She's cute. I like your wife too. Bye, Joe. Take care.
People on the road driving, you mean?
That's really interesting.
I'm almost broke.
So I mean,
A very
Wow. But that's pretty amazing. Well, your mom was a pretty amazing woman.
you damn well betcha she was.
She was, I mean, she was an inspiration for me when I was growing up. As my godmother, I really looked up to
She
her.
was a woman out of season.
She sure was.
She
Her
was a
business school?
businesswoman when-
No kidding.
At business school when women didn't do things.
No. And she was the driving force behind things. She was the matriarch of the family.
You bet.
She's the one that pulled it all
Yeah,
together.
You bet. Much more. Uncle Louis was not.
No, he didn't do it. He was more removed.
Well, he was very, very quiet.
Yeah, he was
shy,
quiet.
what have you.
Yeah.
In fact, when they used to pick on him at the school, Mother would go fight for him.
You're kidding me. I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, I think Mama and Anna
And
do
then
that.
then she, you know, and the girls, and then she ran with the girls, and she got in trouble because they wore tights.
Yep.
You know, very, very
Yeah.
modest tights.
Sure.
Compared to what girls would wear today.
Oh,
and
no
so when
kid-
she got home, she got the hell beat out of her.
Because she wore tights.
Because a girl didn't dress like that in public.
Oh, because Grandpa was really old school with that.
Oh, bad.
And Anna was really modern. Anna and Mama.
Well, there was a day when your mom did something, and Grandpa was pulling up his pants and throwing coal at her as he chased her down the
He
street.
threw coal at her, and he chased her down
She
the
did
street.
something wrong, and he got mad. And he had a handful of coal, and he was chasing her down. Walter throwing coal at her.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's amazing. That is amazing. So that's pretty, those are pretty
So like I
amazing.
said, your mom and my mom were rapscallions, believe you me.
They're rapscallions. That's a good
really
thing.
Were. They really were.
So, and then my mom got me, and I was too. And your mom got Phyllis.
That's right.
And Phyllis was my idol when I was growing up. Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm doing some of the family tree for Steve Schifani. I'm helping him with some of that.
You know, what little I know is that his uncle was Grandpa Schifani. I know his grandfather was Grandpa Schifani's brother.
Right. Or his great grandfather. It might be
No, it was
his
his
grandfather.
father.
Yeah.
And so Uncle Louis, or Cousin Louis was Little Louis's father.
Yeah.
Cousin Louis was the son of Uncle Frank.
Okay. Okay.
And then they also had a son who God, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he was injured. An icicle fell on his head.
That's Mama told me something about that.
And then he was sort of discombobulated. He was in an institution the rest of his life.
Was
He
his
an
name
artist.
Paul?
Paul. He was an artist. Very bright
How you
and artist.
doing? It's so
He was
good
an
to
artist
see you.
Okay, thanks. God bless. Good to see you.
You take care, okay? Oh, I'll be happy to share that. Nancy knows how to post video. So
I'm on Facebook.
we're on Facebook. Friend me.
Tyler Adams.
Gordine McKenzie.
Dean McKenzie.
Gordine McKenzie.
Mackenzie.
Do you have a pen? Or there should be a pen in there. Gordene. Friend me.
And so-
And we'll do that. So Mama always told me, and I never put the whole story together, but I've got the family tree from Steve, and I've been trying to help update some of the stuff
Uncle
from them.
Frank, Grandpa's father, committed suicide.
That's right.
You knew that.
I didn't know it was Grandpa's father. Wasn't
Grandpa's brother.
Grandpa's brother
Frank,
did. Yes,
committed suicide.
yes. I knew he did that, and I knew Paul was in an institution.
That's right.
And he was in an institution because an icicle.
Hit him, and
Mackenzie. MAC.
of course in those days there was a lot of brain damage, and they didn't know how to treat it in those days.
Oh
And that
gosh!
was it.
So he's buried at the
Okay,
institution
I
too.
will read it. No, give it a call. But not
Are
for
you
this
going,
week. I won't
Olga?
because I'm
because I'm getting ready for the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre of Jerusalem. The question order of the Holy Sepulchre.
Pleasure to see you. We go back on Wednesday morning. Yeah.
So you're gonna be around at all?
Yeah. Give us a call.
I have Bill's phone number.
Bill will be with Bill and Gail. We'll be with
to
Bill
put
and
that
Gail
down.
all the time. Why was he so mad?
Well, because she lost her wedding ring.
She lost her wedding
Dropped
ring.
off and it fell down. They were up in the balcony and she saw it. She went down and she found it.
Wow, and that was all because she lost her wedding.
That was yeah.
Oh my gosh, Frank, thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
Okay, so